Hi friends, this is Silvajan here. Welcome to my networking channel. And the last video I have shown about NATing and the types of NAT. And this video I am going to show how to configure the static NATing. So what is static NATing? It is used to map a single unregistered address to the registered address. So now let us go to the configuration. This is a configuration where I connected host to a NAT router and NAT router is connected to a web server, right? So first let us configure the directly connected interfaces, and the second thing we need to configure the NAT inside and the NAT outside command, and the third thing I'm going to configure the NAT translation rule, right? So now let us go to the host and I'm going to configure the interface, directly connected interfaces. So what is a directly connected interface? It is fast Ethernet 0 by 0, right? So fast Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.1.1 255.255.255.0 specify no shut. So host I configure the directly connected interfaces, and I'm going to configure the directly connected interfaces, and I'm also going to specify the NAT inside and the NAT outside command. So let us go to the NAT router now and let us configure the interfaces. Interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0. This is an inside interface, right? This is an inside interface. So first specify the address, IP address 192.168.1.254, followed by the subnet mask 255.255.0, followed by the NAT inside, IP NAT inside. So then I have to specify no shut for activating the interface, inside interface. Similarly I have to configure the outside interface, that is fast Ethernet 1, right? IP address is 2.54. So go to configuration mode, interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. IP address is 192.168.2.24 255.255.255.0, followed by the no shut command. Before that I have to specify the outside, right? IP NAT outside. Since it is a outside interface, I have to specify IP NAT outside and do a no shut. So this also I have done, and now I'm going to configure the web server directly connected interface, that is 2.1, and the interface is fast Ethernet 1. Go to web server configuration mode, interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1, IP addresses 192.168.2.1, followed by the subnet mask, right? 255.255.255.0, that is subnet mask, followed by no shut. So this I have done. So the third thing, I'm going to configure the translation rule. Since it is a one-to-one mapping which maps a single unregistered address to the registered address, let us configure the translation rule. So what is the translation rule I have to configure is IP NAT inside source static, then followed by the IP. Host IP is 192.168.1.1, followed by the public IP, that is 2.54, 192.168.2.54, right? So I configure the NAT translation rule. So then I have to disable the routing, no IP routing, in both the host and the web server. No IP routing, right? I have disabled it. So now what I have to do, I have to configure the gateway. For host, this is the gateway 1.24, and for the web server, this is the gateway, right? 2.54. Since I have disabled the routing, I have to configure the default gateway for the communication. For the host, I have to configure this is the gateway, and for web server 2.54. So let us configure the gateway. IP default gateway is 192.168.1.24. Similarly, go to the web server and configure the gateway. That is IP default gateway is 192.168.2.54, right? So I configure that, and also I configure the NAT translation rule. So static, this is a host IP followed by the public IP. This is a public IP. So now let us check the show IP NAT translations. So it is showing the inside local and the inside global address. Inside local is nothing but the host IP, and the inside global is a outside address, right? So now let us generate a traffic from host. Let me ping the address 192.168.1.24. First let us ping the default gateway, then let us ping the host web server address, right? 2.1. Before that, let us check the traffic. So now you are able to see, right? Inside local address is a host address, and the inside global is a public IP, and both outside local and the outside global are both one and the same. Both exist on the outside world, right? So both should be the one and the same, outside local and the outside global. So the scenarios, whenever the host want to access the web server, the packet reaches the NAT router, and the NAT router does the translation, one-to-one translation. It translates from the inside local, that is inside local IP 1.1 outside global, that is inside global, that is 2.254. Then the packet will reach the web server, then it will send a reply packet. So before the packet reaches the host, the packet reaches the NAT router. The NAT router again does a translation from the public to the private IP, and the packet will reach as a host. So this is how static NATing works. It is used to map a single unregistered address to the registered address, or for converting a private address to the public address. So now let us see the show IP NAT translation. So you can see the thing. If you want to clear, you can clear again. Clear IP NAT translation is the command for that. So it will clear all the translation at table. So this is how the static NATing works. It is used to map a single unregistered address to the registered address. I hope you understood. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.